What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome to my race review from North Wilkesboro. The final race of the 7 races in the Pro Invitational Series and the race at North Wilkesboro. The first time iRacing has ever raced at North Wilkesboro International Raceway. And I have to say that today's Pro Invitational Series event was really fun. We only saw, I think, 8 or 9 cautions in this event, which, considering other races that have happened in the Pro Invitational Series, I thought today's Pro Invitational was just a normal style short track race. And I hope one day we do go to North Wilkesboro. It looked like throughout this event, the high line seemed like the preferred lane on this racetrack, because it looked like the outside lane was gonna be better as the runs went on, and tires did come into play in this event. Denny Hamlin basically drove from about 10th on the race, like 5th or 6th on the restart, and at the end of this race, he got into a really fun battle between him and Ross Chastain. And he gave Ross Chastain, at the end of this race, a very fun bumper run. And Denny Hamlin was able to score his second Pro Invitational win today. And he got a really awesome win in North Wilkesboro. And not only that, he had some pretty fun moments throughout the race. You had Clint Bowyer and Jeff Gordon getting into it about strategy throughout this race. You had them two bickering each other. I think Clint Bowyer brought a lot of energy in this event, and I think Clint Bowyer had a really good race for sure, a fun race, and he had a really fast. Not only that, Clint Bowyer, even though yes he had fresh tires, he at one point got up in the top 10 in this race, even almost in the top 5, which that's really good for Clint Bowyer. Jeff Gordon, on the other hand, he kind of had a day, finished I think in like 19th in the race, which that's not bad if you really think about it, but Jeff Gordon didn't have a great day. Martin Truex Jr., let's just talk about him. Before all the shenanigans at the end of the race with Martin Truex Jr., he looked like he had a car that could have gotten the top 5 in this event. But unfortunately, he had some late race shenanigans with Clint Bowyer. They had some contact. He went up the racetrack. And then with around 13 laps to go, he unfortunately ended up spinning out, which ended, I thought, a really solid day. To me, the cars that looked really fast in this event, Denny Hamlin, yes, at the end of the race looked really good. Timmy Hill, who had to start at the rear of the field because of the rules in the race, because the top 3 finishers had to go to the back. William Byron, who won the event last week at Dover, was not participating in this event. In fact, none of the Hendrick cars besides Jeff Gordon was participating in this event. But Denny Hamlin was Timmy Hill was able to drive up and looked like he had a really good shot to win this thing. But unfortunately, he did not have enough speed to catch Denny Hamlin. He got a really good run, and he came out of nowhere. Another driver I thought had a really good day today, Christopher Bell. He looked like at one point he had the best car in this race. But unfortunately, I think he ended up pitting at the end of the race because his tires got used up, and he was never really able to bounce back and recover and get a better finish that he deserved. But he still had a fast car, and I think he had a good race. Ross Chastain as well, let's not forget about him. He looked like he had a really good car at the beginning of this thing. But unfortunately for Ross Chastain, he got that bump and run from Hamlin, like I mentioned, with about 7-8 laps to go, and there was just nothing that Ross Chastain could do to hold off, and he fell back to 4th, and there was more contact between him and Landon Castle. Surprised there wasn't a caution there. There were some points like cautions that came out, then they didn't bring cautions out. I was kind of surprised at points when they did bring them out, but hey, I thought the race was solid, and we'll give you my opinion of the review here in a second, but let's go ahead and go through the results of this race. Denny Hamlin wins the final Pro Invitational Series event. Congrats, Denny Hamlin there. Timmy Hill gets a runner-up finish. Really solid run for Timmy. Good run there. Another consistent run. I don't think Timmy Hill finished outside of the top 3 other than Talladega. I don't think he finished outside of the top 3 in any of these races. So congrats Timmy Hill on a runner-up finish. Tyler Reddick gets a surprising 3rd place finish. Wow. Did not expect that. Great run for Tyler Reddick and a great way to cap off, I would say, a decent run in this Pro Invitational. Ross Chastain gets 4th, and Austin Dillon gets a surprising 5th place finish. 6th place goes to Garrett Smithley. 7th place goes to Brennan Poole. 8th place goes to Parker Kligerman. Kevin Harvick finishes 9th. He was in the top 5 at one point. Parker Kligerman had a lot of trouble in this race as well. To come back and finish 8th, that's great. And Landon Castle, after kind of getting in some contact at the end of the race with Ross Chastain, after Ross got the bump and run, when Landon would get into the back of him at the end of the race, Landon got a 10th place finish, so great run for Landon Castle there. A solid run there. J.J. Yeley surprisingly gets a 11th place finish after being a nuisance at Dover and getting in the way and basically after blowing engine. I know he sometimes don't have control, but 11th place finish for J.J. Yeley. I got to give a thumbs up there. 12th place goes to Clint Boyer, got a 12th place finish. He was in the top 6 at one point. I mentioned that earlier. And I think he and Jeff Gordon were kind of the life of the party of this broadcast. Clint Boyer gets a 12th place finish. A top 15. That's awesome right there. John Wood in his first ever Pro Invitational start. And the first time we've seen him run, I was kind of disappointed. I thought he'd run kind of closer to the front because he's been part of that esports program, for like NASCAR Heat and kind of like the esports league for like Wood Brothers. But I think if 13th place running your only start, I think that's really, really good. Christopher Bell, who I thought had the car to be at points in this race, unfortunately he comes home with a 14th place finish. But hey, what can you do? Good run for, not a bad, great way to end for Christopher Bell because he got better as this series went on. And a 14th place finish, wish it was better. He deserved at least a top 3 finish, if not a win, because he looked like he had the winning car at one point in this race. Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes home with a 15th place finish. I don't know what happened to Dale Jr. He was up in the top 5 at points. That paint scheme for that car looked amazing, by the way. But unfortunately got 15th. He just dropped off like a cliff at the end of this race. And I saw that. I'm like, what happened to Junior? I guess he spun out or something, but they didn't catch it on the replays, which was crazy to me. But 15th place for Junior is not that great. Cole Custer, 16th. He started on the pole in this race because of the inverted field. And I thought he was going to have a really good day, but unfortunately he had some contact late in this race and never really got a chance to recover and contend for this win. 17th goes to Joey Gase. 18th place goes to Jeff Gordon. 19th, Bobby Labonte. And 20th place goes to Mark Truex Jr. I just want to say Bobby Labonte's, other than today's race, he's been the most consistent driver. And his event has been underwhelming. Not underwhelming, but not pushing the car too much. Just trying to bring home a good finish. Except today, he kind of like was over aggressive. But that's Bobby Labonte for. I think Bobby Labonte's a great driver and one of the best ever to drive in NASCAR. Chris Buescher comes up 21st. 22nd goes Eric Jones. 23rd goes Kyle Busch. Other than being involved in wrecks, Kyle Busch was at one point in the top 10 in this event. But he really never could get up there and contend for this win, in my honest opinion. He didn't have the car to go out and win this race. John Nemechek, 24th. I think he ended up spinning out early in his event, if I'm not mistaken, and he really never got back up to the front. That's a shame. Corey LaJoie comes on 25th. Eric Almirola, 26th. I don't know what happened to Eric Almirola. He got some damage, I saw, but I don't know where from. I guess from some wrecks earlier in the event. 27th place goes to Ryan Preece. He tried to bring out a caution by sitting on the racetrack, but basically iRacing forced him to get off the racetrack, which good job there on iRacing's part, because he tried to get off, tried to be blocking the racetrack. Michael McDowell, 28th. Ty Dillon finishes last in 29th place. So yeah, there's results. And now I'm going to talk about and give you my opinion of the race. And this is going to kind of go overall and talk about my thoughts of the whole Pro Invitational Series and how I thought the Pro Invitational Series went. I'm going to give this race a 9 out of 10 for this event. I think the racing was really, really good. I thought it was fun to watch, and people who were watching this event probably thought this was great as well. I just was so happy to see North Wilkesboro back on the circuit. And there were really great moments and high moments and sometimes low moments in this race as well. It had everything for fans to watch, especially a pretty fun event when a bump and run between Denny Hamlin and Ross Chastain for the win. I just wish, honestly, that there would have been a little more battles for the lead, because at one point, Ryan Preece, who looked like he had a great car in this event, he got up to almost to his 2-second lead, but they caught up to him at the end. And the racing, I thought, was really, really good, and I hope eventually, if they can, we get North Wilkesboro back on the NASCAR circuit someday with some repays and some rework on the racetrack, because I know they've been trying to work on getting it, but the track is closed. You can't go there because they have a private fence off, which sucks, because I'd like to, at some point, go back and race. But hopefully one day we will go back to North Wilkesboro, because, man, today's racing I thought was really, really, really fun to watch. 9 out of 10 is my score. And now to give you my overall opinion of the Pro Invitational Series. I am going to give the overall score of the Pro Invitational Series, all 7 races we ran. I am going to give this series a 9 out of 10 overall. The only reason it's not higher or lower, I thought pretty much every single race we had for the Pro Invitational, I would say besides Dover was still solid, but my second least favorite race, other than Bristol and Dover, I thought the series was really, really fun to watch. It started off with a crazy chaos at Homestead International Speedway, coming down to a great battle between Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Denny Hamlin, and those two gave us a fantastic finish. And then just the rest of the races, like Texas, getting William Byron gets a bump and run from Timmy Hill. That was really exciting. Bristol was a clusterfuck, as most of you like to call it. Worst race. He had to go to single file restarts at one point, and William Byron scored his first win. And congrats, William Byron, on that win for that. Richmond went really, really well. The race was really, really realistic. And we got to see William Byron score back-to-back wins. And then we went to Talladega, and chaos ensued. But not kind of controlled chaos. Jeff Gordon got up into the fence, got stuck there. That was really fun. It came down to a 3-wide finish between Alex Bowman, Corey LaJoie, and Ryan Preece. And Alex Bowman prevailed in that. And then, it came down to a couple other really fun races that I thought were interesting. And great to see that iRacing got a really good glimpse. We got to see iRacing bring like a lot of good and entertaining moments throughout this series. I do hope in the near future we get to run this series once again. I don't know if we're going to see that again since Real Racing does return next week, which I am so excited we're going back to Real Racing at Darlington next week. I think most people who are agree with me on that. I've enjoyed the iRacing Pro Invitational Series, and I think it's been really, really well, but it's time to go back to real NASCAR racing next Sunday at 2:30 Central Time for me, 3:30 Eastern, and for you West Coast, you guys get it about 12:30, which that's still kind of early in the day. You guys will have time to do stuff after the race is over. But yeah, that is going to be my review from the race. I also am going to be tomorrow on Mother's Day, by the way, so happy early Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Wish your mothers a happy Mother's Day as well, but I will be tomorrow kind of talking about kind of the stages, and I will also be talking about the 3 tracks that will not be hosting races in 2020, and I got those predicted right, so we'll talk about that in tomorrow's episode. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. Please like and subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on so you can be notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Links in the description below for that. And comment your thoughts on today's video. So, what did you think of today's race? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. And I will see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.